Let's color, let's color, let's color in a new page. Today we're gonna do a tutorial, so not just a color. I'm sorry, did you have something to add to this? You can't really see him, but there's Coco. A little while ago, I did a review on acrylic markers. I think it was the Ohuhu marker set, and that is where I did a firework page. And I have seen a few requests for a tutorial on how I did this technique. So today I thought we would sit back, do a tutorial and a little color with me, and I'll show you guys how I did fireworks. So today all you'll need is your alcohol markers, black and whatever colors you choose to do your fireworks. You'll also need acrylic markers. Today I'll be using the ENMY set, which is these bad boys here. Last time I used the Ohuhu ones, but it is up to you, whatever one works best on black. But yeah, let's make some fireworks. Today I'm actually using the new Coco Wyo Ohuhu book. So when I saw this page in there, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a firework tutorial. But before we begin, we're gonna grab our page protector, pop it under to prevent our markers from bleeding through. And to start, we're gonna grab our black alcohol marker and we're just gonna color in the window. We're just gonna take baby steps. In this tutorial, you'll notice I take multiple baby steps. You can also do the window or any dark areas a very dark blue, purple, or a dark gray. I did also go over a part I shouldn't have with the black. That is okay. Acrylic markers will fix this. Now to begin the actual fireworks, we got to figure out what colors we want to use because fireworks can be all different types of colors. So we're going to go onto Pinterest and find what we like the most. You can do blue, purple, orange. There's so many pretty colors to choose from. I really like the pink, orange and yellow ones, so today we're going to do that again. So grabbing the Ohuhu Coco Wyo markers in these three shades. I will say I wish I picked a lighter yellow. I feel like this yellow is too dark at the end, so just keep that in mind. I would pick a lemon or a butter color. Before we begin, we're going to think about where the lighting is. And because the fireworks are very bright, that is going to be our main light source from this. So it'll come from the diagonal angle into the room. And we're just going to map out with our yellow marker where the light would hit. This doesn't need to be perfect either because we will be going back in with black. So wherever you place it, and if you don't like where you place it, we can always fix it. Once I've done the yellow, I'm just going to go in with orange and then later on pink, just around where we put the yellow. Doesn't need to be perfect. And for the areas that are more flat, like this notebook, we're going to sort of merge all the colors together. This technique does not need to be perfect. There is no rule to it, so just place colors wherever you like. And now it's on to the darker shades. I'm going in with 4 different types of grays, from C5 all the way to C8, and I'm just going to take baby steps, starting with the lightest gray, placing that down, and then I'll ease my way into the darker colors. I never want to go in straight with the darkest color or black because it's a little harder to undo any mistakes you do with black or very dark gray, so I just like mapping out where I want the darker colors to be and slowly walk into them. We want that dark grey to get as close as it can to the colour without going over it by accident. So we want to make that colour that we just placed before, the yellow, pink and orange, pop. I'm just indicating here that I am not touching where the window, where that light is on the ground and on the cushions. We're not going anywhere near that for now. We're just going to place our greys all around and add shading. We'll come back to the window reflection on the ground later. You'll notice here as well, I actually leave a white gap because I realized I think I want the light to hit there as well. So I'm just going back in with the pink, yellow and orange and just some sort of areas that I feel I could have a little bit more. Throughout this video, you may notice I constantly sort of look at that window and think of that direction where the light would come in, and I ultimately decided a little bit of orange, pink, and yellow would end up on that bit of couch. This also doesn't need to be 100% accurate either. This is all just about having fun and placing colors down and enjoying the coloring while you do it. And that's the fun part about colouring. You don't need to be hard on yourself or make sure everything is super accurate. You're just placing colour down and enjoying it. And if there's any part you don't like, we can always fix it with acrylic marker or black. So now we're onto that window. You'll see these beams in the window. I want that to reflect onto the ground. Just using this page as reference, you'll see that the lines are on the ground, almost like the window is placed on the ground. That doesn't make sense. We ultimately want to have those lines in the ground and making sure they line up with the window and sort of have them lining up to the best of our ability. So starting with our lightest grey and the fine tip end of our alcohol marker, we're just going to map out where we think that line would be. I constantly go back and forths from the line and just figure out where I want it to sit. Once again, this is just me guessing. Nothing is ever 100% accurate, but as long as I'm happy with it, that's all that matters. Once I've mapped that out to how I like it, I'm going to make it a bit thicker and add the darker greys bit by bit. Now it's time for the fireworks! Grabbing our acrylic markers, once again I'm using the ENMY ones. I'm going to grab white, I'm going to grab pink, the lighter shade and one darker, the same with yellow and the same with orange. We want one light and one dark. The darker one will be our base and then we'll go over top of it with our lighter colour. So starting with our orange, I'm just going to dot a little bit of acrylic marker onto our black and dab, dab, dab away with my finger. This sort of smears it, smudges it, blends it out for me, and I just layer and layer and layer. Take your time, there is no rush, but I'm just sort of doing dots or little strokes and just sort of dabbing it away with my finger. We don't want any harsh lines really, we just want it to be sort of the background to our firework. Doing this bit is my favorite bit. We're just going to do a little line and then we're going to smear it so it looks like it's that little trail from the ground. That's my favorite part of a firework. And I'm just going to do the same process with our darker shades of yellow and pink and map out where I would like these fireworks to be. So from here, we're going to grab our 3 light colors and we're just going to go over top in these nice little strokes. Once again, fireworks aren't exactly a consistent shape. They're not all the same. So just little strokes, little dots and little dashes in them, starting from the center and outward, really translate as fireworks. And make sure you've got your reference image beside you from Pinterest if you have one. This really helps with that firework shape. Once we've done that, which it looks so beautiful, we're gonna grab our white acrylic marker and we're just going to go over certain little areas of our dashes and strokes. This just makes it look so bright and vibrant, literally like a firework has just gone off. Once again, no rule to this really, just sort of do little strokes like you just did. Don't go directly over top of them really, you want it to sort of be off of that. But don't stress too much about where the white needs to go, just have fun with it, do little strokes and dots everywhere. Once we've done our white, we're going to grab our 3 acrylic markers in the lighter shade and we're just going to sort of go over everywhere that we placed that alcohol marker first, that were pink, orange and yellow. This sort of makes it pop even further. Now I'm just going in with the darkest grey and black. I'm just adding depth to the room. I just want a little bit of black inside, just to tie it in with the night sky. And because we took baby steps with the grey, placing black is nowhere near as scary. Now with our fine tip white acrylic pen, this is totally optional. You can use your acrylic pen you used from before, but I really like the Posca fine tip pen. We're just gonna add some stars and add even more highlights to our image. And there we have it. Our picture is all done. It looks beautiful. I'm so happy with how the fireworks have turned out. I actually like these fireworks more than my other ones. Practice makes perfect, you guys. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.